aversion to the idea that he had to kill a girl no matter what. So he wasn't so much saying, okay, I definitely have to kill because I need to eat them. He was more so obsessing on the fact, like, I have to kill someone, I have to kill someone. So now we're going to go into the victim. And this is the case that, this is the details that, will tell about the murder of this victim. So the victim's name was Renee Hartevelt, and she was a Dutch student studying with Sagawa at the university. Over time, Sagawa sought a friendship with her and occasionally invited her over for dinner. After some time, Renee began trusting him. He attempted to kill her once before actually murdering her. During the first attempt, he pointed the gun at her from behind, but it misfired. So typically, you would think that an unsuccessful murder would cause someone to say, never mind, they would want to give up, but for Sagawa, this pushed him further down the rabbit hole, causing him to be even more hysterical, and he knew he just had to kill her. Sadly, it was the very next day that he did. So he again raised the gun while she was looking away and shot her, which killed her instantly. So he stated in an interview that he thought about calling an ambulance, but immediately told himself, like, what are you doing? You've been thinking about this for 32 years. Like, don't call the ambulance. So this part that I'm about to go into is a bit graphic, and I have to tell these details so you guys could know where the cannibalism came into. So if you cannot handle exactly what he did with her body and what part of the body he ate, skip past this part, please. So after he realized that he was not going to call the ambulance, he then raped her corpse and began cutting her open. I'm sorry, I have that stuck in my tooth. So he first cut into her buttock and described that no matter how deep he had cut, it was all that underneath the skin, which looked like corn to him. And he described that it took him a long time to reach the red meat. The moment that he did see the red meat, he tore a chunk off and threw it in his mouth, which he recalls as being an historical moment for him. He claims that So they then deported him back to Japan because remember he's now in Paris where he was studying. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, so he's from Japan, so they deported him back to Japan where he was supposed to spend the rest of his life in a Japanese mental hospital, but he didn't. And this is about to be the craziest part. Like, not the craziest part because obviously the murder is the craziest part, but this next part is like the system is so messed up. Like, it's crazy. So, since the charges in France were dropped, the court documents were sealed and couldn't be released to Japan authorities, and there was no case against Sagawa, so they had to let him walk. August 12th of 1986, Sagawa checked himself out of the psych hospital in Tokyo and has been free ever since. So, currently he says his desires become more intense around the summertime in June when the women walk past him with, they're showing more skin and they're wearing less clothes, and like, his mind automatically thinks about that he has to taste flesh again before he dies. So I believe now he's 74. I believe that's how old he is. I think when I read in one article, because I didn't do the math of his age from this year, but I believe they said 74. But he has written 20 books, so he has made money off of this case as now being a free man. And there also was a restaurant that like featured his cannibalistic story in their like news article that they have for the restaurant. It's crazy, like it's really crazy, and he talks about it like it's normal, you know, like saying that it's a natural thing to eat human flesh and all of this other stuff. So you guys definitely have to look into this guy, and it was so much information, and I thought this video was gonna be longer because it seemed like I was writing forever, but it's so much like information about what this man says currently and how he feels about the murders. And because like I said, he's written 20 books. I'm not gonna say the books because I'm definitely not gonna support this person or don't want anyone to for that fact, but like if you look into his interviews and stuff, it's like it's crazy, and it's even more crazy that back in Japan these people are like sponsoring him, sort of, you know, like praising him for eating flesh and him owning up to it, like the victim didn't matter, or you know that he didn't commit the crime. Like it's crazy, and so definitely condolences will continuously go out to the victim and the victim's family. And I mean, it's nothing else that can be done because like the records are sealed. But I don't know what to say. But thank you so much guys for watching.